Is there a perfect contract length? How long should an MSP contract be? And how long is too long? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the important aspects of an MSP contract, what contracts you actually need, and even a place to go get them, because I hate when people don't give away the secret sauce. How are you doing? My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether that's sales training, marketing training, or even some business operations. Before I get into today's video, I do want to ask you to head over to growth-generators.com/Discord. If you go to our website, growth-generators.com, we have our MSP Heroes program, the Launchpad, which is perfect for brand new starting MSPs. But really, the important thing is we need to be surrounded by a community of other MSPs that are growing. There are MSPs in there that are in the 8-figure mark. There are other MSPs that are just starting, potentially just like yourself. And I'm actually curious here. We are at the prime number of 1,100 plus members. If you asked me a year ago how many people are going to be in the Discord, I'd say probably nobody, but you guys are turning out. It is crazy. It is a truly incredible community. I'm just happy to bring people together. If you'd like to join, growth-generators.com/Discord, or there will be a link down in the video description below. So let's talk about MSP contracts, because most MSPs mess up their contracts and it's costing them clients revenue, truly headaches. They probably have more hair than I do, but it's probably vanishing fairly quickly, and nobody knows about how long a contract should be, what should actually be in the actual contract. Now, you guys may have heard me talk about your MSA, your master service agreement, your SLA, your service level agreement, and those are parts of your contract, right? You can have your MSA be your whole contract, you could have your SLA be a piece or even the whole contract, right? But it's important to have some kind of contract that you can withstand on. For the sake of this, we're actually going to be talking about the contracts, the length of them, how long when a new client shakes your hand and says, hey, we're doing business together. This is what it looks like, right? They're going to pay you monthly every single month, but at some point or another, they're going to have to renew their contract. A MSP contract length matters because it can help you have revenue stability, client retention, growth, more importantly, predictable growth. But a bad contract is going to actually lead you into worse areas, right? We never want to have a bad deal. We can have unhappy clients, but more importantly, high churn. Because if it's just a bad contract, a bad deal, it doesn't work out for anybody. And some contracts might be too short, which leads to, once again, high churn and unstable revenue. We want stability. We want monthly recurring revenue, MRR, monthly recurring RMR, recurring monthly revenue, whatever you want to call it, right? And then if it's too long, clients are going to hesitate, right? They're not going to sign, they're not going to move forward, and it's going to create a lot of resistance in the sale, believe it or not. And nobody wants more resistance. We're already probably mildly or very uncomfortable going out and getting sales. Why make it even harder than it actually needs to be? So there's pros and cons of different MSP contracts, and my goal is to educate you. Now, you could do a month to month, and oh my goodness, I'm going to get to that in 1 second. But the most common, and in my opinion, it probably the best balance, is a 1-year contract. It's ideal for newer MSPs, and it's probably still today the most common contract because it's, oh, you know what, I'm signing up for a year. Okay, right? It provides predictable revenue. It's fairly easy to renew because if you did a great job for a year, client's probably going to, roll into a second year. But there is cons. You only have 1 year. So if you sign them up for 1 year, maybe it's $1,000 a month for easy math, it's $12,000 for the year. Don't get me wrong, great money, but it's only for 1 year. The average MSP customer sticks around for 7 to 20 years. So we need to have a good contract in there. Now, one of the best lengths of contract, which is great for growth, is actually a 2 to 3 year contract. Now, it's a little bit harder to sell, especially if you're a newer MSP. Full transparency. You're not going to go out there on day one. You might close a 2 or 3 year contract. It's a little easier to kind of, hey, look, try us out for a year. If you love it, stick around. If you don't love it, be on your merry way. Right? But 2 to 3 year contracts are great for growth. Truly. It provides a lot longer stability, right? You're going to have that customer for a long time. It really allows you to fully build out that partnership, which is great. And you could also bundle things in there at that point. You could potentially bundle in hardware financing, whatever it is that you want to throw in there. It also gives you a little bit of grace room in there because it locks in that revenue. And because you know that you're going to get them for 24, 36 months at $1,000 a month, we went from 12,000 to 24, 36,000. That's great revenue, right? It's predictable year after year. But here's the catch. It's harder to sell, right? So we got to sometimes provide some kinds of incentives with that as well to get people to move to a 2 or 3 year. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you my perfect contract length. And this is some of the best secret sauce I've given away on YouTube. So you're going to want to stick around for the end. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, by the way, if you could be so kind. It does help the algorithm a lot. Now, there are some MSPs out there doing a month-to-month contract. It can be risky, truly. And I don't want to say that lightly. It's good because clients can really just jump into it and they have the ability to get out of it, which is the pro and con. It's an easy sell. There's really, if things go sideways, the client can get right out. But the con is it truly allows them to just walk away and it doesn't provide the security that you probably want for your MSP. And that's really what makes it a challenge, right? You have to meet or exceed their expectations for the entire 28 to 31 days of that month to have that contract kick back in the next month. And some people like to do project-based contracts. Now, this is pretty infrequent, but I have heard of them, so I wanted to make sure you're aware of them. They're great for one-off projects, but they're not a long-term model, and they should not be a long-term model. If you're going to do a project-based contract, it should have a clear start date, a clear end date, and what a finish/success looks like when everything is done. But they're great for migrations, assessments, consulting gigs, or if you're just trying to get your foot in the door with a new customer, it very well could be a great door opener for you. So, what is a good structure, right, for a contract? This is not my favorite, but this is just a good structure. I like an auto-renewing 1-year contract if you're especially really, really new with a 30 to 60-day cancellation. I know that sounds crazy, right? But they have to have reasons for cancellation in your contract. But auto-renewing is nice, right? Because they can renew. You could put in the contract that if they don't provide you notice 30 to 60 days before the end of the year, or however you want to structure it, boom, they automatically renew for the next year. And then they kind of have to catch it. It makes it a little bit stickier, makes it harder for them to leave. But you're not, hey, look, you finish up the term, you can walk away. You just got to let us know that you're going to be walking away. And you can also take that, and if you want to make it a little bit better, make it sweeten the pot a little bit, make a multi-year contract and offer other incentives, whatever incentives you want to offer at your MSP. But the last thing I ever want anyone that watches this video or my entire channel to do, because this boils my blood, is don't put in hidden cancellation fees. They annoy me. They annoy your clients. And let me tell you, when they're like, hey, you canceled, you owe me an extra, I don't know, whatever it is, 50% of the rest of the contract, whatever. Oh, that irritates me. And I promise you, if you throw that in there and a client's pissed, they are going to drag your name through the mud because it is a shady business technique. So if you're watching this and you're like, I'll just put in a hidden cancellation fee so I'll still get paid. Don't do that. I'm not going to be happy with you. And I'm a very happy person. All right. So keep that in mind. But I want to tell you how to get a multi-year contract because that is 24, 36 months. I've even seen people signing a 5-year contract, which kudos, by the way. So some of the things that you could do. I have seen people, and I have offered this myself, discounts for multi-year pricing, right? Could be 10% off. It could be 1 month free every year, whatever it is. You have a lot more room because you're going from a $12,000 contract to a $36,000 plus year contract, or $36,000 contract. So yeah, you could shave off a little bit of money, make the deal a little bit sweeter for them and move forward. You can also do hardware leasing in there, right? You might be footing the bill. You might be finding a company that will do your hardware leasing. You could even bundle in some better cybersecurity services, just once again, to sweeten that pot, or offering quarterly strategy reviews, just a good touch base. Hey, we're going to go through what can we be doing better? Where can we improve? In many cases, most MSPs go through and do a ABR, an annual business review, or a TBR, technology business review, and they only sit down with their clients once per year. Imagine paying something and only seeing the people potentially one time per year. Phew. Nope. Yes, they're probably happy, but it doesn't hurt to show face and just shake hands and bring a thing of donuts and make people smile, because that's truly, you want to have happy clients. That they're the best things in the world, right? But you want to make sure that you present the contract as a benefit and not a trap. And that's truly the key. If you're presenting your contract as a potential trap for somebody, it's bad, right? A contract is there to protect you, and a contract is there to protect your customer, because it works both ways. They know what they're signing up for, and if you don't deliver it, it shows them what they get in return. It holds you accountable and holds the customer accountable. That contract goes both ways. Hey, if we've reached out, we've reached out over and over and over again, and the customer hasn't moved anything, fast forward a couple months and they're like, you never did this, you did this. And they start scolding you. You're like, look, it's part of the contract. First of all, we only have to reach out 5 times. I think 5 times is more than enough, right? So you can have that contract is truly a benefit to both people. Now, before I wrap this video up, because it is a bit of a shorter video, I am going to give you my favorite contract that I've seen so far. Truly, it was not my idea, but I will give you my favorite contract so far. If you truly are confident in your MSP business, I would offer depending on how you want to break this up, a month to month contract in the beginning with an annual contract following. You could do a 2 or 3 month to month contract, and as soon as that 3 month ends, they kick over into a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contract. That is truly kind of the best of both worlds. Now, I've worked with MSPs, I've been a part of an MSP where they're like, look, if you really are super unhappy, yeah, we're going to let you walk away. We don't want you to drag our name through the mud. And truly, if you're an unhappy client, we don't want to deal with you anyway. So you want to find what works best for you. I, believe it or not, like a month to month, but hey, if we continue after 3 months or 2 months or even 1 month, hey, try us out for 30 days. If you absolutely love it, it's going to kick in for 1 year. Try us out for 3 months. If you absolutely love it, we're going to kick in a 3 year contract right off the rip. You have 3 months to cancel whenever you want. That's an incredible deal. And that truly goes to show you, the customer, that you watching this video are like, we are the greatest MSP. There's nobody better. And truthfully, that could very well be true. I hope it's true, as a matter of fact, because your customers are going to love you. If you crush it in the first 3 months, you have a banger onboarding process. Shout out if you want to go grab a free onboarding template, you can go to growth-generators.com/resources, scroll all the way down, and you'll find the onboarding checklist, right? I'll even put a link down to it down below. But if you knock their socks off with an incredible onboarding, you handle all their problems, and that 3 months ends, you could bet they're going to be with you. The contract doesn't matter. They're going to be with you forever. Because if you're that confident that you're going to do a great job in those first 3 months, they're sticking around forever. And you got a 7 to 20 year customer, which are the best customers out there. So I hope you learned something from this video today. It was a short one. It was, I told you where you're going to get contracts from. Now, I have no affiliation with this company. I do know the owner of this company. There are other people out there that offer this as well. But if you are looking for contract work, we do offer templatized contracts in our program, MSP Heroes. Always a shameless plug for our stuff. You can go grab MSAs, SLAs, a bunch of things in there. But also, if you do want kind of a lawyer to look over things, Monger, let them know I sent you. I don't get a kickback, but hey, maybe it'll start a good conversation and I can offer you guys a discount one day. But I'll put a link down to their stuff down below. They do provide legal services. They specifically work with MSPs. It's not like you have to go to your local attorney and hope they know what you do and you can take a year and a day to explain how we help people. You can go over to these guys. They're a really, really good company. I've heard fantastic things about them from other people. I've had nothing but great conversations with them personally myself. So check them out as well. They're not paying for this. I'm not an affiliate with the company. I just think that it's a cool company, and I would recommend going and checking it out. I love the heck out of all of you guys. I appreciate the heck out of all of you guys. And if you have an interesting contract, a different type of angle that you're using, and you want to let me know, I'd be super, super curious. Leave it down in the comments down below. And if you're like, Harrison, I only want to tell you, jump on the Discord, send me a DM. I'd be happy to look at it. Love you guys as always, and I'll see you guys on the next one.